Hey, just in time for the ad break to finish. We're starting the stream. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Office Hours. I'm Matthew Groves and working on the Conduit project still, although it's winding down quite a bit. Almost done. At least feature complete with Conduit. There's some other plans I have for it. Once it's ready to go, we make sure that it works with the UI and stuff, maybe deploy it somewhere. But in the meantime, it's going to keep on cranking away at the code, get these features knocked out. So thank you for joining me today. I'll be streaming from now until 12 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. Who knows? Might finish early today. We'll see how this goes. Um, but let's get into it. So my plug here for C# Advent. There are not many spots left. In fact, let's bring up the site right here, and we'll see how much is actually left. So I've got claim this spot. We have two spots left. Oh my goodness, we're almost there. 2 spots left on the C# Advent. We've got one on December 16th and one on December 21st, so get those claims in. Once all these spots are claimed, there will be a link that shows up here that allow you to sign up to be like on standby, like a sub. If someone has to drop out, I can go to the substitute list and say, hey, anybody want to take this spot? So anyway, 2 spots left. Go check it out. And then that's all you're going to hear about C# Advent probably for a while, because it won't actually start until December, which is months away. We're almost end of September here, so we've got October and most of November. Although you might see some, promotional stuff, just reminders, C# Advent's out there, and of course I'll be sending some emails to everybody. Whoa, it's everybody on the, who's on the mailing list. So that's what's going on with C# Advent. csadvent.christmas. There it is. It's a real URL. Go check it out. Even if you don't sign up, just put it in your bookmarks. Subscribe. There's an RSS feed and such. So check it out so that you'll know everything going on with C# Advent. Okay. Get comments. So yesterday, or not yesterday, but the last time I streamed on Friday, I thought I was done with this. I thought we were all good to go. Then I committed into CI, continuous integration, on a GitHub workflow. And I kept getting errors. And I can show you kind of my my CI log of shame here. I had committed this, right, number 20, and I kept getting errors. And I thought, oh, this is probably the scan consistency thing that I was alluding to on Friday. But no, that didn't seem to be it. So I kept trying and trying and trying. I was adding some error handles. The most annoying part of this was that the errors were happening in CI. They were not happening locally, which turns out they actually were happening locally, but I just wasn't able to see them. Anywho, so I found some other issues along the way, like I had hard-coded the bucket name and the scope name into the query. I actually screwed that up and I had to do it again. And so at this point, I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. So what I did was I blew away my local database completely, started from scratch, and then I noticed I was getting the errors. So what I had done was I had created some indexes that I had locally that I did not have in production because I was working on that query. I just forgot about those indexes. So that was the main issue, was the indexes that actually ChatGPT, I'm not going to take the blame for it, but ChatGPT created for me, the index, was not a valid index. It didn't make sense. Somehow I was able to create it locally, but it wasn't actually being used. I think it was the primary index that was actually being used. So, that being said, I went back to try to build an index, and so I actually engaged an expert this time, internal to Couchbase, one of the Couchbase employees who's also very active on Stack Overflow, for instance, when it comes to SQL++ queries and indexes. And I bothered him for a little bit, and I said, well, hey, I want to index this array. How do I do that? And basically, I think we both came to this conclusion about the same time, but I'm going to give him credit for it, is I didn't actually need to have an index. I could have just had this use keys syntax, but I had it in the wrong. I tried this on the stream, I think, but I had it in the wrong place. It should go immediately after the from, so then it knows where to use the key at. So with that, I don't have to use any keys. This is going to return results because this data is not there anymore. But that is a much better query. So I changed the query, got rid of the index, which is always nice if you don't have to have an index. I'm not 100% sure this couldn't benefit from an index because there are some joins going on here. But this query mainly focuses on the comments. So this is fine, I think. So check that in, and now I'm passing. Now it's green. So thanks to continuous integration, I was able to diagnose several issues and get a better query and remove an index from the project. So as far as I know, the get comments is now working fine. I thought I would try it now here locally in a browser. Just go through the process and kind of show off the whole thing. Wow, it's so amazing how many endpoints this is now. I remember starting this just the other day, and it was like 1, 2 endpoints, and now it's this whole list. And I'm so thankful that I've put some good documentation in there with all these schemas and stuff, so it's relatively easy to read. But we're going to create some comments. So first we have to go through the process of creating user and articles and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and create a user. We'll register a user. And we'll just call this one Matt. I think I've got a blank database now, so I can go back to Matt. Not a blank database, but mostly empty database. Strong password, 0, bang, whatever. Okay, execute that. And there is my user with a nice JWT that I can copy and paste to make the rest of these endpoint requests authorized. All right. I'll go create an article. My article title, my article description, and the body is lorem ipsum a bunch of times. Okay, and tag we'll call cruising. Why not? Alrighty, so there is the article. And got a nice randomly generated slug. Okay, good. And now it's time to leave some comments. I'm going to leave the comments as myself. Why not? And this is a great article. Thanks for writing it. Okay, so posting a comment there, that worked. And I'll make this the second comment. My second comment. So there we go. So those are ID 1 and 2. So I can go actually look in the database and show you this. Maybe. Let's see. These aren't the comments. Still aren't the comments. What's happening? Show me the comments. That's articles. I want comments. There we go. All right. So it was C2SK. Okay. So here's the comments I just added. Notice they get ID 1 and 2. And they're both by Matt. So now I know they're in there. Let's go ahead and get those comments. So this is now I'm reading the article. The UI says, let's get the comments for those. Pass in the slug. And there we go. There are the comments. And has the created date, updated at the body, the author stuff, that's all pulled from the query, although you can't follow yourself. So that's always going to be false because it's their comments that I left. So there we go. That's working great. Time to add some documentation to that endpoint. So the comments controller. So this is the endpoint right here. So this is going to be get comments, get all comments for a given article. And this will be the article slug required. Hey Gamelor, what's happening? How are you? Thanks for stopping in today. I don't think there's any more because it's just a string here. There's not a model to document. It returns comments. I don't know, just comments array. So there's not much going on there. Let's go look over at the README, see if that needs any updating. You know, one thing I haven't mentioned is in this documentation is that there are some queries in some notebooks, I should say. Might be worth mentioning that. So what do we got here? Articles, favorites, tags for articles. Put comments in here as well, because that's in the same slice. Not going to be any more slices on the way, as far as I know. It's users, follows, and articles. Is that right? Just those three? Let me just double check. On the web, I've got articles, users, follows, and then these other ones aren't slices, but those are documented elsewhere. Models, extensions, and then I don't have data access listed in here, do I? Why don't I have that? Oh, because it was the models folder. I changed it. Wow. It's been a while since I updated this, so data access. There are also some VS Code notebooks for the queries that are used in the project. Okay. Uses the Couchbase VS Code extension. Maybe I should link to that. Couchbase VS Code extension. Right here. How's this thing doing, by the way? We've got 0.6.3. I think there's a new release they're working on coming soon. Up to 381 installs. That's pretty good. Okay. And there's the repo for it. Quick tour. Lots of good stuff there. So it's worthwhile to create a link for that. The link. How do you do links in Markdown? It's square brackets first, then parentheses. Okay. It's not sliced folder. It's called, well, yeah. Let's call them sliced. That's fine. Conduit tests. Very good. Integration, functional, extensions, unit. Okay. All this stuff makes sense. Postman collection. The video series. Let's see if that needs to be updated. I think I did not export the latest one. So let's see. 9:15. Last week was actually 9:19 and 9:22. Oh, looks like that last week's video was split into two pieces. Let me just make sure they're not in the playlist already. I didn't forget. Let's see, my channel. Playlist, doing this all off screen. Here's the actual playlist on YouTube. So we've got 9:12 on there. So I'm way behind. Gosh. Let me just double check. So I might have added them without adding them to the playlist. Okay. KV benchmarks. That was 10 days ago. Why is there 3 of them on there? Oh, maybe it was exported multiple times. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I've got the videos on there multiple times. How do I delete them? Manage videos? Okay. Let me just take that off screen. I'm not sure if there's anything personal in here or not. Okay. I'll delete the one that has the fewest number of views and likes. Delete 2 of them, I guess. Delete forever. Yep, you're gone. Okay, so that's weird. I got 3 copies of it, but no problem. That was September 19th. This is benchmarks. Oh, wait. Hang on just a second here. That says 9:15. Was that 9:15? Yes, that was 9. Sorry, I did that one. Okay. So I haven't actually exported these other ones. So let's go ahead and do that. Exporting. So this is my Twitch view. So I can show you that. So export this one to YouTube. Yep. And this is like somehow broken into 2 parts. Maybe the feed dropped or something. So I'll have to export both of those. And this one too. Okay, and then we're currently in the process of this one, so I can't export that, obviously. All right. So I gotta wait for those to export, so I don't need to hold up the stream to wait for those, but I need to add those at some point later. Anything else need to update the documentation? I don't think so. Okay. Let's commit then. All right. So there's the documentation. Made a change in the README. Okay. And what we're looking at is number 20. Number 20. Updated docs. All right. Commit, and we'll go ahead and push that one out. Okay. So there's that. And back over here, drag this into done. Last endpoint, the very last endpoint is delete comment. This should be a pretty simple one. And again, the question is, do we actually delete it or do we mark it as deleted? And I'm going to go with the answer of the last time, just do a pure delete. And just kind of not worry about the issues that might raise. Although for comments, not a big deal. There's nothing that really references comments, so if they get deleted, then it's fine. The other issue was delete article. Potentially that could cause issues because, well, comments can certainly reference an article. Favorites can reference an article. I don't think it'll cause any bad behavior. It's just kind of a waste to have that stuff out there. So delete comments totally fine. Notice that this needs the ID. This is kind of the reason I went through the trouble of giving each comment an ID. Not really necessary, except for giving delete something to look for. That's all I really need. So let's get it. Comments controller. This is a oh, you know what? I think I messed something up with the comments here. I didn't put in a remarks like I have done with everything else. Not remarks. Okay, okay, whatever. This needs to link. I want this to link to the Conduit spec for get all comments. And I totally just dropped the ball on that. So where is the endpoint spec? And I want get comments from an article. For an article. All right. Okay. So I need to. I'm not going to push this one yet, but I need to also type this. Forgot link to the spec in the docs comments. Okay, there we go. All right. back on track. This is an HTTP delete, right? HTTP delete. Where's the thing at? Yeah, it's delete. And this is the URL. Route. Well, the route, I should say. Okay, and that needs two things. Slug. And I'm going to call this comment ID. Okay, and this needs to be authorized. Task I action result. Delete comment. Okay, from routes, we've got string slug. Do I need to put from route here as well? I think so. String. Although, just make it u long, since that's what it is anyway. No sense having to have casting be an issue as well. Okay. So, need to get the claims info here. The username. And delete comment request equals new. Delete comment request. What needs to be passed into that is slug, comment ID, and username. So I need the slug to know what article it's part of, so I can find the comments document. Then I need the comment ID to know which comment in that array to delete. And then the username to make sure that you're allowed to delete that comment. You can't delete someone else's comment. And then delete comment response equals await mediator send delete comment request. Okay, don't actually have that class yet. We'll go to handlers here. And create delete comment request, which is I request delete comment response. All right, and this needs a parameter, or sorry, constructor. All those things are fine. And we will, can I do it for all? Get only auto property as public mutable. I mean, we could do what I was doing before and make these knit only object, or knit only, yeah, then I wouldn't necessarily have to worry about the constructor, right? Say public string slug get knit u long comment ID and username. And these are all required. Okay, so back over here, I can just say, like so, slug equals, comment equals, and username equals. Username is not null here. Huh? Oh, whoops. There we go. Alrighty. And then I can get rid of that. So a little wordier here, but if this ever changes, I don't have to worry about changing the constructor, I guess. Send the response. Okay. What are some possible responses we want to check for? So, of course, is article not found? Then we just return not found. Same thing going on up here. Okay, so that's one option. Is not authorized. That's unauthorized. Unauthorized. You aren't allowed to delete that comment. Okay. I guess it could be a response or some other failed response. and return 500. There was a problem deleting that comment to catch kind of everything else that goes wrong. And what is it supposed to return? Let's say it returns anything. So we're just going to return like an OK, I guess. I don't know what else to really return. Okay, so let me fix this formatting here real quick. Is article not found? Okay. Is not authorized. And is failed. So those are some possibilities. Any validation? I guess the only one would be if they specify like an empty or null string or white space for the article somehow. Public list of validation failure, validation errors. Okay, so it would be similar to what I did right here. Okay, but it's delete comments. Yep. Okay, so this is pretty much the, as I set it up, the platonic ideal of an endpoint. It gets a username, creates a request, sends it off to mediator, gets the response, and then all this endpoint is really doing is just checking the any sort of error conditions. Because it needs to know those because they're HTTP status codes. So other than that, pretty good looking endpoints, I think, if I do say so myself. All right. Back over to the hand. So I need a handler, and we'll need a validator. Delete, comment, request, validator, abstract validator of delete, comment, request. Constructor. So we've got a rule for x dots. Slug really is the only one I can think of. Although, yeah, the comment ID probably needs to be non-zero, I guess. Okay, that's fine. All right. Must, what is it? Not empty? Null, empty string, white space. Yes, okay. With message. Slug is required. These needs to be cascade. Stop. Rule for x dot comment ID greater than 0. Is that okay? Why is it? Oh, because there's not a expected. It doesn't like that. Is there not an override for too long? Guess I have to create my own. Must be greater than 0. Oh. Okay. Return. Wait a second. What's this func business? I don't want it to return a func. I just want it to be bool. But it has to pass in a value. Must be greater than. Okay, I think I see what's going on here. I'll just do this. with message must be a valid comment ID. And actually, that's another condition, is comment not found. It's possible that they specify, oh, ID 23, but there is no comment 23. Well, then I have nothing to delete. So make that another condition. A lot of conditions in this one, actually. Quite a bit. Okay. But as far as validation goes, that's all I need. Just make sure the slug's required and got to be greater than 0. Otherwise, we'll just proceed to delete comment handler. I request handler of the deletes comment request, delete comment response. Should be a class. I don't know why I didn't put the word class there. Okay, need the handler, needs to be async. Alrighty. So, time for validation. Add comment handler. I'm just going to borrow some validation code if you don't mind. Delete comment response. There we go. Need to pass in the validator here. So it's I validator of delete comment request. Alrighty. And I'm also going to need the iArticles data service and the iComments data service. Need those. Alrighty. So then, first thing, check to make sure article exists. Return error if article doesn't exist. So, does article exist equals await articles data service exists, and I just pass in the slug right there. And then if doesn't exist, return new delete. What? Return new delete comment response. Is article not found? True. Alrighty. Got to make sure that I think the rest should be handled by data layer. Yes. This should be comments with ID not found. So I have to look up the comment to see if that's the case. Look up the comment to see if that's the case, and this will obviously only happen if something goes wrong. I think we're good there. So data response equals awaits comments delete. And I need all those things, basically. Request dot comment, request dot slug, and request dot username. Okay, and this is just going to have data service result. No. Start with data service status. Is that what is that? I've made a little enumeration. What did I call that? Data service result. Data result status. Okay. Comment ID, slug, username. All right. So you look up the comments. Let's start with the collection. This needs to be async. Oh, look at this. Some leftover commented out code. See, this is some of the stuff I was trying to do to debug in production, basically. So I get rid of that. collection awaits get collection. Okay, and now comments doc equals awaits collection. Well, first, yeah. Okay, collection dot list of comments, and I need the get comments key of the slug dot get article key. Something along those lines, right? That just builds the string with the article key. Yep, okay, good. This is not awaitable, I guess, okay? So I think when I do that, that creates the list if there isn't one, which is fine. Okay, and then comment equals, we'll call this comments list dot where the comment dot ID equals the comment ID. Okay. We're going to get single or default. There should only be one, or should be null. So if comment is null, then we know that doesn't exist. So I return not found. Okay, and next thing, so is authorized equals comment dot author username equals username passed in. And we can say if not authorized, return. I don't have a unauthorized data result. Should I add one, or am I doing this in the wrong layer? Yeah, I think it's okay to create one. Status unauthorized. Okay. All right, and what else? I think that's it. Actually, go and delete the comment, right? Comments list dot remove comment and return OK. Okay, so must exist. Comment with ID must exist. Comment must be authored by the given user. Delete comment. Okay. All right, so there we go. So now I just need to interpret the data response. So if data response dot data response equals not found, then return. So this is the comment itself is not found. So then we can say is comment not found is true. And I can probably get rid of some of this extra curly braces stuff up here. Like that. And I can also do the same thing here. Oh, did I get rid of one too many? No, I didn't. Okay. Okay, so, and then if data response equals unauthorized, is not authorized. It's true. I don't have any try catch. Probably put it around most of this, right? Because there are some data operations going on here behind the scenes. I don't know what the exception might be. return error. Probably a good place for logging, or I don't think a retry makes sense here. I don't really have any logging in place in this system. Probably a good idea to add that. But let's just keep going. And then if data response equals error, then we'll return new is failed. All right. Is that everything gets handled there? Error not found, unauthorized, and then of course OK is all right. Then we're good. Which just has nothing in it. This is no response. There's no response in the spec, so I don't think there's anything to return there. All right. I think that's it. So try it. Do I still have my notes? I do. Let's try this without tests. We're going to test it completely manually this time and see how badly this goes. Where's my... Nope, not there. Where's my swagger? Here we go. Okay. So let's see if I'm still authorized. We'll log in as Matt. Okay. And then I've got get all comments for given article. So there we go. I've got 2. Let's go ahead and delete ID 1. Delete. Try it out. I'll delete that slug, and we're going to delete ID 1. See what happens. Okay, it seems to work. And then if I click on execute here, there should be just ID 2. Okay, didn't actually delete it. Why didn't it delete it? Comments list, remove async. Returns a bool. I wonder. Throw new, I don't know, data exception? It's not really in system.data though. Data set not found. Oh, let's just show exception for now. Unable to delete comments with ID. This isn't actually going to get bubbled up. We're going to swallow it, right? It'd be nice if there's some way to bring that to the user in some situations. Anyway, let's try going here. Let's see what happens. Back to close that window. Too many tabs. Okay. Authorize again. I'm running out of time on this token. I think it's 2 hours. Maybe I extend it to 4. Okay, so get comments. Let's make sure they're still in there. Yep, 1 and 2. Okay. I want to delete number 1. Okay. So that didn't work. Why not? All right, let's look at the docs. See if I can find something out about this. Data structures in .NET, please. Okay. access using numeric indexes. I don't see anything here about remove or delete. This is the comment. I'm pulling out of the comments list. And please delete that. That's what I'm asking. What else is in there? Remove, clear, contains, remove at. That's going to take an index. Well, I suppose I could try it that way. Like, what's the index? To see if this works, right? Comments list index of. This is also async. I kind of expect this to be what's going on behind the scenes to an extent. Remove at async index. Okay. That does not return a bool. Interesting. All right. Try it again. And this is probably where a unit test would save some time. After I wrote the unit test, of course. All right. Swagger. Got to do this again. See, I'm already regretting not going through the unit testing like I've been doing with everything else. So I got to do all this stuff manually. Sometimes it's okay, you know, to actually test via, you know, the UI or the API in this case. Because, you know, you get a feel for how it works and other stuff might come up that you didn't notice. So it's okay to have a mix of different testing methods. What am I doing here? Get comments. Okay, and now delete comments. There's a slug, delete comment 1. Okay, seems to have succeeded. It removed comment 2. It's not what I wanted at all. Did I screw up something with the indexing here? Remove at index. So index of 1 would be 0, so it's removing 0. Okay, well, I don't really like that. Remove async. It's not okay. There's also remove, which is asynchronous. I don't want to do that. I am curious why that's not working. I am curious enough to actually want to open up the source code. See what's going on there. The source code of the .NET SDK. So let me get the latest there. I'll open this up in Writer. Now, I'm not using this code directly in my project. I'm using the NuGet package, but I'm going to go and see what it looks like. So there, remove. Let's see, remove async. Not collection. I want to move. Okay, interesting. All right, let's see if we can't just dig into one of these. Persistent list is what we're looking for. Okay. And there's remove async. Where's remove async at? Okay, here's remove async. Okay, so it's just doing that behind the scenes like I suggested. It's index of, if it's greater than or equal to 0, remove at async. So the index of, okay, I'm curious about this. So let's run unit tests, shall we? That is the way to go, probably. Not unit tests, but this would be an integration test in this case. But just of this method itself. I'm curious what is the problem here. So this is comments data service. And it is the delete method. Delete tests. Okay. Test fixture. Couch-based integration test. And let me just borrow some stuff here. Okay, doke. I want comments data provider. Right, because I want to create some comments. Yes. Conduit, comments collection provider. Comments collection provider, not data provider. And I also need our articles as well. Articles collection provider. So I need to create an article to have comments on. Conduit's articles collection provider. Okay, and what's under test though is actually the comments data service. Which needs, yes, the comments collection provider and this new options thing that I put in there. Which I left in. It was one part of my debugging efforts in the query that I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. I left it in. I think it makes sense. I'm not going to go into that right now. But what was it? Isn't it options wrapper or something? Yeah, new options wrapper. And this will be new couch-based options. And it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to use any of that. So. I don't know why it adds all this namespace here. Must be something I'm doing wrong. With one of the some of the naming conventions or something. Okay. Anyway. All right. Some task can delete a comment by ID. Okie doke. So now I need to arrange an article. I've got an ad break going on. We'll see on the other side of the ad break. Article. Do I need to keep it? I don't know, but we'll go ahead and create one. And an author for that as well. Which I really need to get around. I really should have done this from the beginning, is have it create an author for me. But, well, what are you going to do? Conduit. Users collection provider. Create user and database. And this will be author. Username is author. Okay. Standard create an article stuff. Author.username. Okay, arrange some comments on the article. Yeah. So I need like a commenter. Okay. And I need to, oh, I do have create comment database. Oh, I don't remember doing that, but okay. I must have. Create slug, commenter.username, and comment body. I don't necessarily care about that. I don't care about the ID either. It does return that, right? Yeah. Comment 1. And we'll do it again for comment 2. Okay, act. I need a request, right? Arrange. No, I don't. Result equals await. Comments data service delete. I'm going to delete comment 1.id. Oh, does this actually create them with wacky IDs? Is that what this does? Yeah, well, this might be okay. Comment ID, the slug, which is article.slug, and username, which is commenter username. Okay. Assert. Well, first I'll need to assert that result is equal to data, what is it? What do I call it? Data result status. Okay. So that should fail right there because it's not okay. No service for type icon. Oh, what? Oh, is this? I've not added it to the integration test, have I? Or the global Couchbase integration set, whatever. Yep, never added it here. A Conduit comments collection provider for comments. Okay. All right. It should still fail though. What? Oh, it's not the handler. So as far as this knows, it's passing. But okay, now we're going to make it fail because assert exists in the article.slug. X.count. I want to assert that x.count is equal to 1. Should be 1 comment left. And we should assert that x dot, not that it matters, but x dot single, no, 0 dot ID is equal to the remaining comment, which is comment 2 dot ID. Now it should fail, based on what I've seen with the manual testing. And it does. See, it's expected 1, which makes sense. I'm deleting a comment, but it's actually 2 in there, so it's not getting deleted. Why is that? Okay, so I want to maybe step over this or debug it, see what happens. See if there's something in there that I'm not expecting or not comprehending. Okay, so there's the comments list. Should have 2 things in it, right? Well, I can't actually get that right now. Okay, but there's the comment ID. Yeah, the comment ID passed in is 198.848. And there it is, 198.848. Okay. Am I authorized? Yes, I am authorized. Okay, so here's deleting the comments. Passing in the comments with the given body, username, all that kind of stuff. Can I get like requires all threads to run because it's asynchronous, so I can't get the. What about this? Requires a thread to run temporarily. Okay, so can I add item to that. Okay, it's the same thing. I'll delete that watch. So I know that doesn't work. I pass this in, and it goes to here, where it's going to say, give me the index of, which doesn't seem to be correct. So, fail. All right. Await comments list. Index of async comment. What is it saying that the index is? Because it should be 1. I wanted to delete the... Well, I'm deleting the first comment. Oh, whatever. So this index should be 0. It's -1. So I can't find it in there. Let's look at the index of async function. Index of async. Okay. Get list async. Index of item. It looks like it's using the it's just using the underlying like .NET framework version of it. Okay. Get list async. What does get list async do? Is there a method called get list async? Or is that also persistent store base? There's a base, okay. Something doesn't seem to be working right here. I'm not sure if it's a bug or if it's something I'm doing wrong. There's no overloads here. What I'm afraid of is that it's basically using .NET equality at some point, which isn't going to work because I haven't defined any of that stuff. So what I'm thinking is, gosh, is there a way to work around this just to get it to work? Like, can I get the whole list? The whole darn list in memory. It's list.toList async. So it's not in the Couchbase anymore. It's now in that list there. And I could say, super hacky, but let's do this just for the sake of getting it to work. I less than list.count. I plus plus. All right, and then I can say if list I dot ID equals comment ID. Yeah, comment ID. Then await comments list dot remove at I. Okay, so this is a kind of a workaround. I'm not using the built-in index of or anything like that. I'm kind of creating my own index of here. Just loop through everything until you find the matching comment and then remove it. So let's see if that works. Okay, that seems to work. So that is what I think is going on, is that normally with these lists, these data structures. It's just simple stuff, string, integers, and so on. And I'm wondering if this kind of stuff doesn't work or hasn't been tested, perhaps, underlying API, or if it's just not supported. If it, that would be kind of annoying. So that works, but I don't like it. Okay, so what I think I want to do now is create a minimum, because I'm afraid this might be a bug. So I'm going to create minimum reproducible example that I can send along to the SDK team. And I'm going to use logging for this because it's always good to send them logs. We're not working on cluster. We're not working on indexes though, so we can get rid of this stuff right here. What I am working on is, wait, cluster can't type. Cluster.buckets async. I'm going to call this one delete from list. Create a second bucket here. If I can find anything in these tabs. Yeah, right here. Okay. This is separate from my project. This is just minimum example that I can submit as to confirm that what's going on is the case, and submit this stuff as a ticket. So there's the bucket, and then collection is just going to be get default collection async. Okay. So now I'm going to create a list. Create a list. So I want public class foo. This is going to have ulong ID. Set and public string name. Just as a minimum object there, create a list. This equals collection.list of type foo, and we'll just call this doc1. Okay. Going to add some stuff to that. New foo. ID is 123. Name is Matt. And we'll do another one. Do 456. Richard. And we'll do one more. 789. Jeffrey. Okay, so that should actually create those things in the database. Okay, so I'm just do a console.write line. There are now list.count items in the doc1 list. Okay. Press enter to continue. And console.readline. All right, now I'm going to remove one of them. So I want to say, I want to get Richard. Equals list dot where x.name equals Richard. I can't, no. Let's delete, let's delete Richard. Richard, I want to say single default. If Richard equals null, that's unnecessary for this test. But okay, then I will say await list dot remove async Richard. There are now, just do the same thing. After remove async, there are now X items in the doc1 list. Okay. So this should say 3, and then after this, 3. And then my suggestion is that there's possibly a bug here. So let's go ahead and try running this. Okay. Oh, so you can't see it among the logs, but it said there are 3 items in the doc1 list. Press enter to continue. After remove async, there are now 3 items in the doc1 list. So, seems like a bug to me. I'm going to report this. And I'm going to try doing this off on screen, but I'm just concerned there might be some sensitive stuff because I'm logged in to the issue tracker. I kind of want to show this in action though. But I'm worried about showing dates or anything that's kind of not working how it's supposed to. Remove from list, not removing items. This is data structures. Data structures. Okay, components. So this is going to be library component, and the version I'm using is what? Pretty sure this is latest, although let's just double check. There is a newer version. So it's probably a good idea to run it again. Make sure that bug wasn't fixed in 3.4.1.1. Okay. So now we're on 3.4.1.1. Run this again. Okay, 6 items in the doc1 list now. And okay. Yeah. So now I now I screwed it up because I didn't delete the item, the whole document. So do some cleanup here. Remove doc1. Cleanup. Okay. So I'll go ahead and just do that here. So see, it created duplicate items there, which I don't want. Okay, try this again. 3 items, press enter. Where's the message? Oh, why is it so impossible to read this? There are now 3 items. What happened? What? Oh, gosh. I'm so stupid. Okay. Okay. Don't do the cleanup. All right, that's going to be a hassle, but that's okay. Okay, 3 items. After remove async, there are 3 items. Okay. So I've still got this out here. I can't use this, so I'm going to run it again. But anyway, that shows that that was not fixed in that version. So 3.4.1.1, labels. There's all kinds of interesting labels in here. I don't know how well these are used. But not seeing anything. Okay, environment, Windows, and it's Couchbase Net Client 3.4.11, and Enterprise Edition, whatever that version is, 7.2.0. So there's been releases, minor releases of Couchbase Enterprise is 7.2.1, I think, is out right now. So I doubt that this is an issue with that, but we'll keep going. All right, so summary. The remove async is not removing items from a list, data structures list. Repro steps. One is create a bucket named delete from list. Run the attached code. I'll also need to make sure I get a nice clean log file to attach. Run the attached code. Note the outputs. Note the initial output, which is, there are now 3 items in the doc1 list. Press enter to continue. Note the final output. After remove async, there are now 3 items in the doc list. Okay, so what I expected to happen is one item to be removed from doc1 list array. Actual, nothing is removed. Okay. Okay. So now let me make sure I have a nice clean set of log files here. So here's the 2 log files I will attach. Delete the ones that are created. Let's run this again. Enter to continue. And it finished. Okay, so now I've got these nice log files. So I'll make a note here. Log files attached. Alrighty, and so I need to attach these log files. And I'm also going to attach program.cs. Okay. And I think that's good. So I'll go ahead and create that one. Now I believe that's going to be a public issue right now. Yes. So here's the incognito version of it. This is what I created off screen. I'm sure it was very exciting to watch that. But here is the ticket I created. So I always like to do summary, repro, expected, actual, and then notes if necessary. So summary, keep it short and to the point. Remove asyncs, not removing items from data structures list. This is under the .NET project, so that hopefully they know what that means. I don't have to go into explain all that context. Here's the repro steps, create a bucket, run the attached code, the initial output. Oh, I've got this parentheses on here. Anyway, that's fine. Press enter to continue, note the final output. Here's what I expected to happen, here's what actually happened. Here's some log files, here's the code that I ran. And that's going to be good enough for now. So I'm going to go back to my code. The one that, that does work. This terrible workaround. This is a hacky workaround. C NCBC -3498. Okay. I could probably shrink it down a little bit, but no, I like that. I like that better. Okay, so I've got it working. It's just that's not really it's not optimal. Hypothetically, it's going to be very similar performance, but if there's a whole bunch of comments in there, this might not be as efficient as some of the underlying data structure stuff that's available in Couchbase. So I want to get that fixed, but in the meantime, I've got code that works. I've got a workaround. Okay, so there we go. Happy with that. I do want to, while I'm here, I may as well test the other conditions. ID must exist. ID must exist. Okay, and got this, and I can create an article. Yep. And I'll create a comment. I don't care what the actual username is. Is that that's required though? Okay. It's just the author leaving a comment on his own post. That's fine. Okay. And I will go ahead and create the act here. But I don't want to try comment ID. I'm going to try some other ID equals comment ID plus 1. Comment ID dot ID plus 1. Okay. Let's just call this invalid ID. Or ID doesn't exist. As long as that's not int max value, we're good. Okay, delete. And the assertions at this point should be assert that result is equal to data result status dot not found. Okay, good. All right, what else? Must be authored by the given user. So I will create, okay, there's the comments, some other user. And I want to delete comment 1, but it's some other user. Oh, this should be can't delete comments that you didn't author. And so this was going to be unauthorized. Pass. Okay. Anything else? I mean, we've got this. If there's an error, some sort of data error, we're going to catch that and return that. Otherwise, we're good. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to try it in the web browser. Go through this whole rigmarole again. It should work this time. Swagger, authorize. That's me. Is my article still in there? Let's see. Articles. I want to get the comments on the articles. There's only the one, so let's add another comment. Try it out. Yet another great comment. Okay, and so that's going to get ID of 3. So it's going to be a weird situation where I have 1 and 3. Not that weird, right? Then I want to delete. I want to delete 1. Okay, and then if I run this one again, it should just be 3 left over. And it is. Okay, so that's working. That's working. It's just a little bit of hackiness in there. So I've got kind of 2 bugs kind of hanging out there. I'm going to call this one potential data structures list bug. And I'll convert that to an issue for this project. So what I've gotten here is, yeah, there is potential bug that affects delete comment. What did I put over here? I've got a workaround in place. but would prefer to use dot remove instead of this workaround. Instead, workaround might be inefficient and is harder to read. Okay. All right. So I'm going to update that. Kind of leave that as a note because, you know, the engineering team, they've got their priorities. They've got limited time. So even if they had a fix, it probably wouldn't fix today. Probably wouldn't be until, I think their schedule is the first week every month to do a release if they have fixes. So I think next week at the earliest would be when they get that out. The source code might get updated. This all hinges on the fact that if this is a bug, this might be just user error, might be my user error. So we're going to find out, hopefully. This one, by the way, I don't remember if I updated you on this one. This is the transaction bug from earlier. So there was a comment from one of the engineers here, Richard. That's why I use Richard in the bug that the code I just wrote. So he's saying that, you know, you don't need to do this. You don't need to do the rollback, just do a return. That will probably take care of it. On the other hand, though, that should not cause an exception when you do a rollback. So he's made a repro and fit. I don't know what that means. That's some sort of engineering task he's done. So this is definitely a bug. It's not something I was necessarily doing wrong. But I don't know when the fix is going to happen. They've not committed to anything like that. So you can see it's in this sprint. Got story points, the whole thing, but there's no fix version yet. I believe we can look at maybe see some of the code. Yeah, I don't have privilege to see that. So here's the anonymous. Here's the code we can see anonymous. So you can see that this is the code he's added to fix it in the .NET SDK. Not a ton of code, but probably an important bit there. So I'm guessing whenever there's a next release, that'll be in there. So I don't have to worry about that. Right now it is definitely a bug, and I do have tests that are ignored that will fail because of that bug, but that will get fixed eventually. And I'm guessing either this one will get fixed or they'll tell me, no, Matt, you're an idiot, you should have done XYZ instead. And we'll go on with that. But it is working. The endpoint is working, which is the important point. And I've got a test, and I did a manual test, and I'm pretty happy with it. So kind of unceremoniously committing the last piece of functionality. The last endpoint. This is number 21. Delete comment endpoint and tests. So let's just go through and see what's changing here. Okay, and I added that scope name there, yes. Comments controller, yep, added the endpoint. Here's the new method on the data service. Okay, and I just added a new result for unauthorized. These are the tests and the new handler. Oh, I need to switch out the handler, not switch, but delete comment handler. These are all in the same file right now. Move these to their own file. Everybody needs a little breathing room, right? People and code all need some breathing room. And this hypothetically would not be the end of the world to keep it in the same file, but in terms of version control, it's probably a good idea to keep them separate. Got to keep them separated, as Offspring said. So wise. Okay, there we go. Commit. And push. Speaking of, let's go check the... yeah, so there's the push from earlier today. And a new one coming in a second. There it is. Let that run for a second. I'm going to get myself a, a refill of my beverage. So after these messages, I will be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back. I'm back. Got myself a little beverage here. Big beverage, actually, in this big Pluralsight cup. Author Summit, yes. Still running. Ah, should have stalled some more out there in the kitchen. Okay. I do have to add documentation, so just want to make sure this passes in CI before I truly wrap up, button up this endpoint. Arms are really sore today. Really sore arms. Ah. Did a workout on Sunday. They were fine yesterday. Today they are sore. All right. Green. Passing. Time to add the docs. We are going to comments controller all the way down here. This endpoint. Delete a comment from an article. Article slug required. Comment ID required. Returns nothing. I'm just going to get rid of that. It's going to return, which I don't have down here either. My goodness. Return one of these response codes. So let's do this one working first. Successfully deleted. Unauthorized. Or it's not your comment, I guess. Article or comment wasn't found. 422 is what? That's unprocessable. Yeah. Comments couldn't be deleted. Something went wrong while deleting the comments. Alrighty. And while I'm doing this, I need to add these response codes to this endpoint, which I neglected to do just earlier today. Okay, so successfully retrieved comments. Unauthorized is not possible here. Article wasn't found. Article wasn't found. Nothing like that. Okay. All right. And what was that? Man, I really wish this could show me like recent commits messages. I would love to see that in Tortoise here. But what are you going to do? 21. Comment docs. Go ahead and push that up there as well. Okay. I got tons of time left today, and I've got all the endpoints finished. So what am I going to do? Let's see what else I have in tickets. I have, well, this can go be done. I've got cores. So I don't know if the back end is going to run a different host or port than the front end, but I do want to allow people to have that situation if they are to use this project in the future. So we're going to allow cores, which is cross origin resource sharing. Basically, this means normally if you have a front end like a JavaScript code, it's making requests to the back end, but either I think it's browsers will not allow that if it is like a different server or a different port or both. The browser says no, that's suspicious, unless you turn on cores, which is something you can do. I've done this before. It's been a while, so time to ask. Let's ask GitHub Copilot. How do I enable cores? Period. Okay. To enable cores in ASP.NET, you need to use a core service in your startup CS file. Here's an example cores policy that allows requests from any origin with any header and any method. Seems a bit permissive, but that's what I want to do, I think. So, program. So I've got two different parts here. We've got builder.services.add cores. Cores apparently is already here. It's part of Microsoft ASP.NET Core Cores infrastructure namespace, so I've already got it. Then apply the policy like so. Does it say where I have to apply it to? Any particular order? Whoops. I was pipeline and figure it doesn't really say. So just put it down here. Use cores policy. Okay. All right. So there is enabling cores. Don't know if I can really test it. Don't really have anything in place to test that. But I can just make sure it doesn't destroy anything else. Let's get an article. Get an article. Okay, didn't break anything, so that's good. So I'm going to commit it. I don't know. I'm not sure what else to really say about that. You know what cores is. Here's how you do it. Seems to didn't break anything, so let's commit it. That was where was my gosh? Okay, that one is number 25. Turned on very permissive cores. Okay, we'll go and push that out too. Why not? I don't think there's any docs to update there, so I'm just going to shove it right into done. And there we go. Okay, so really that is kind of a preamble for this one, and I got plenty of time today, so I think I may as well get into it, right? Let's give it a try. This is not my area, front end at all, but I'm sure something's going to go wrong. But that's why I need to do it, to figure out if this is going to work with any front ends. So Postman testing probably work too, but I want to try. Why don't we try some Postman? see if it behaves how we expect, if it uncovers any issues. Because that's kind of what I've been doing with Swagger this whole time, but we'll try it again. So okay, so this is API URL, and do I have a, where is that defined? I can't remember. Where is that defined? Okay, well, it must be defined somewhere. So there's the token. Login. Okay, I don't have those things. Email and password. Is it supposed to draw those from somewhere? These are little email and password is right here. So where is that? And I remember I found this when I started, but I can't remember where the settings are. Beautify, documentation, environment, quick look. Here's variables. No, that's just docs for it. Environments, APIs, mock servers, monitors, history. Where on earth? Settings? Login and remember token. Okay. I don't want to start tinkering with this. I want to. Oh, it's params. Is it what I'm looking for? No. Because the API URL is defined somewhere. I know that. Where is that defined? Is it settings? Gosh. Okay, I don't know. I guess I can ask ChatGPT. In Postman, where do I define values for variables like URL, login, loing? Oh my goodness, etc. Few different scopes. Okay. Gear icon. Globals. Key value pairs. I thought I was in the gear icon. Global stat. Of course, this is 2021, right? So who knows? Get Postman or Postman may have changed a lot since then. Settings. No. Global collection, environment, and data. Oh wait, something here. Variables. Aha. Okay. Okay. Here's so it's right at that level. Got it. Okay. So here's variables. So if I log in, does that mean I gotta copy these over to like email and password? Jake. Wait, how did it allow that password? Oh, because I put a capital in there. But there's no number. Yeah, there is. Okay. great. Whatever. Okay. Password. Okay. Login and remember token. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. Did I? No. Check the console. Where's the console at? Check Postman console. All right. Postman console. Workspaces. Home. Nope, not what I want. View. Developer. Dev tools. Is this it right here? I don't think so. Where is the console? Why is this working? Just double check that that is in fact what I shut down Swagger. All right, so users is login. Yeah, email and password. It's the same thing going on here. And it's a post. That's a post. Okay. But it's not happy with it. Something went wrong while running your scripts. Okay, let's try just this one here, I guess. Login. Something went wrong. It was not valid. Let's try them over in Postman. Or, sorry, in Swagger. Seems to work fine. Over here, getting a 200 response. So what's going on here, Postman? What's your deal? What am I doing wrong? Just look at these values again. Yep, those are correct. This token's not correct. Hey, TBD Gamer, what's going on? Things are going great. I just finished committing the last endpoint for the whole Conduit project. So now I'm working on maybe wiring up a front end. Not making the front end. I'm going to pull one off the shelf. But before I do that, I wanted to go through this Postman notebook and make sure everything, because this is supplied by the Conduit project. So if everything is copacetic via this, then I feel much more confident in wiring up a UI, because I'm not good at UIs. Not good at that kind of stuff. So just want to make sure that this meets everything they expect. But I'm running into some issues. So like I run this from Postman and it says something went wrong. Check Postman console for more info. I don't know where Postman console is. Wow. Oh, right down there. That's where it is. Okay. Send. Post. No data. Empty input. Request body. Oh. Isn't it supposed to substitute these? That's odd. Wait, where did the values go? What the heck? They were just in here, I swear. I swear they were just in here. It's Jake4@Jake. And it was password. You set them at the auth folder level. No, I did not. Set them at the global level. Oh, you're saying did I maybe set them there? Instead, I don't see them there. There's no variables there. password. There we go. Okay. Log in and remember. Okay, still not happy. Because it's still not substituting them. What is up with that, Postman? Aren't these supposed to be subbed for the global variables? Email and password? But I'm not even sure about that, like that response. It should have said something different. Like it's just nothing. I'm guessing it's not, okay. That's the request body. Okay, let's just post something in there. That I know works. Okay, so it's definitely a Postman issue, I think. Why is it still saying, still giving me a warning? No, that seems to work fine. So it's just not substituting these. Why not? Postman, what's your deal? Okay. I don't know. Okay, I don't want to fiddle around with Postman here if I can't figure this out. It might be time to bring in a front end. Dun dun dun. Okay. Real world project. Where do I find front ends? Here we go. So I don't know which one to use. Any suggestions? I could try the C# one, of course, which is a Blazor and WebAssembly. This is 3 years old. But it's worth a try. Gotta start someplace. It does say it's failing CI/CD. I don't know what the never netlify status here is. Looks like a broken image. Page not found. So this might not be on there anymore. We got an ad break going on. But looks like you may have more problems than you desire. Maybe. But as long as it works and follows the spec, then we should be fine. So I'm going to start here and see what happens. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, we're going to follow the steps here. Clone, fork this repository. I'm not going to fork it, I'm just going to clone it. Okay, ensure you have the latest version of the .NET Core SDK installed. Yes, I do. Make sure the version used within global JSON. Wait, what's this folder called? Blazor Conduit. Global JSON. So let's go ahead and open this with Visual Studio Code. Maybe? Open with code? That shortcut's not working for some reason. Okay, open folder. Blazor Conduit. Okay. And version 3.1. Oh gosh, okay. Pretty sure I have that. All right. CD into the... Okay, so now we're going to console land. Blazor Conduits, here we go. And run .NET watch run. .NET watch run. Okay. Cannot be loaded because, well, .NET SDK wasn't found. I might not have that one. But also, watch does not exist. Okay, I'm not sure what that's all about. Let's get this done at SDK. Download.sdk 3.1.3 what? 3.1.302. I got 3.1.30. Sure, why not? Okay, Windows, x64, downloads. Yep. Oh, this is runtime, not SDK. I don't know if that makes a difference. Let's see. Look at the SDK. Where's the... Okay, here's the SDK on the left side. Okay. 3.1.302 SDK. I probably don't have the runtime either, for that matter. Okay, so that is completed. Maybe this is an old part of the runtime, the watch thing. We're going to find out. Setup failed. Oh gosh. Another version is already installed. Okay. Well, let's try it again. CD into the, what was it? Might not have been the right folder, actually. CD into Blazor Conduit.client. .NET watch run. Okay. Okay, no SDK found. All right, well, I don't know about this. Can't get that to work. And the SDK isn't happy with me. It says I won't install. So another thing I could try is I could just update this. Just change the closest SDK you have installed. Yeah, that's what I was about to think about there. What is my closest SDK? How do I get a list of all my SDKs? .NET something something. How do I get a list of installed SDKs? Okay, .NET list SDKs. That makes sense. Let's see if ChatGPT comes up with that same. It does indeed. Look at that. TBD Gamer, you're faster than ChatGPT. Alrighty. Well, look at all this. Look at all these SDKs I got installed. Okay, I get it, ChatGPT. Thank you. Okay, so 3.1.46. Why not? Okay, and then we'll try it again. .NET watch run. Hey, it's doing stuff. Well, that worked nicely. Hopefully. Okay, so now what? Application now be serving to 5001. Oh, I just had exception. It's already in use. Okay, not surprising. What have I got running? I think I've got... Condo's not running on 5001, is it? Nope. I've got other stuff that I run locally, though, which absolutely could be it. I'm not seeing it, though. Wait, there it is. Yep, it's running 5001. So that is my fault that time. That is not this project's fault. It took a second to figure that out. Okay, there we go. 5001. But I didn't tell it where to actually point. HTTPS Yeah, how's it doesn't know where to get the backend from? Where is it getting this data from? um, I think that's something they left out from this. Let's have a look. Let's poke around the code a bit. So I mean, but anyway, it's working. That's pretty great. It's just using the, which might be fine for default behavior. It's using the, like, Conduit has their own backend hosted somewhere. App settings.json. See if there is one. I don't see an app settings JSON. Do you? Am I missing something here? I don't see any kind of settings. App eraser? No. Like there's got to be like, if I were designing this, I would have one location where it's yeah, here it is. So they hard coded him. So if I bring that up in the browser, what's that? What's going to happen there? Cannot get API. Yep. Okay. So what I need to do is change this, right, to use my backend, which I just had somewhere. No. My backend is 72. Like so. Okay, now, okay, so exit, file change, start it up again. Okay, so let's see what happens. This would be incredible if this worked. No articles here yet, but there are in fact articles, yes? Like if I do a list, where's my list? List, articles given criteria. This endpoint does in fact return articles, yes. Lots of articles. Okay. So, is it in fact supposed to be this? This is kind of cool that it notices file change and relaunches it. I like that. That'd be very helpful for a front-end UI, I imagine. Front-end UI development. Still not finding any articles. All right, well, I'm getting a little impatient with this, but maybe we can dig into the code a little more to see where it's actually pulling those. So I know the endpoint is API/articles. So is there somewhere where I can say /articles, or just look maybe the word articles? Article DTO, article search request, all kinds of stuff there. Services, maybe. Store, features, articles. What's under store? That's interesting. Why is it called store? Actions. Get articles. Get articles action. Okay. I don't know what this is. I don't see anything here that looks like an AJAX request. State, what article state? Okay, so this is storing the state of the articles, I assume, in the UI. This reads like someone who loves React. Oh no. Well, this is not my area at all. I don't know Blazor that well, unfortunately, and I don't know React very well either. Um, I'm trying to find the code that's actually going to, go out and grab articles. So there's maybe it's models. Here we go. Here we go. Article. Okay, so search request. Great. How do I actually pass that search request? Where do I actually pass it to? Common Conduit API exception. No. Let's see. DTOs. Yeah, that's just an article. View model. I mean, it seems like store, if it's storage, right? But I'm not seeing any sort of failure action reducers. Oh, what's this? What have you found? Yeah, get articles action. Yes, so I did come across this, right? So it's under store, features, articles, actions, get articles. So there's this. But I'm not seeing how that makes the request to the back end. Like this has got to be processed by something. This is kind of like a like mediator sort of thing where it's a request perhaps. Unless I'm reading this wrong. There's something I don't understand about Blazor. Reducers. I don't think that's going to be it. Well, all kinds of interesting stuff here. Reducers. Articles feature. Get initial state. There's something I'm missing for sure. I'm just overlooking something here. Okay, maybe it's one of these. Conduit API service. Okay, I think maybe this is what I'm looking for. Okay. So this is a bunch of, okay, this is a wrapper for HTTP. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. So path. This is a get, right? So then where is, so this path is one, I'm kind of concerned about this path. Like, is this what it's expecting? Is there any way, so like in JavaScript, normal JavaScript, I would just kind of look at refresh this and look at the console and see what kind of errors are happening. Okay. So it's trying to load articles. This is, okay, so this is helpful. This is what it's trying to do. Notice this says articles, but should be API articles. See, that would give the correct thing. You've never appreciated this whole style because renderers / store, etc. require so much brain power to understand the wiring, so maintenance is hard. You get the general concepts, but I struggle to understand its effectiveness. Well, so that may be the case. So far, this repo has been pretty easy for me to navigate. As someone who doesn't know Blazor that well, I kind of get a general idea of the organization at least. I don't know necessarily what is meant by store. I don't know what's necessarily meant by these reducers and things. I don't know what those concepts are. But the code seems well organized enough. What I should have done in the first place is look at this console to see what kind of request it's making. Seems to be lopping off the API from the path. So why is that? Oops, wrong window. Because if you remember what was in here before was /API, and I tried that. That didn't seem to work. Let's just load up again. Maybe I didn't have the slash on there. Retrieve article effect, by the way. Retrieve article effect. I'm not sure what that is. Let's okay. Let's go back here. Refresh. And nothing. Okay. So it looks like I'm getting less errors here. So retrieve article effect. Is this where you're telling me something's going wrong there? Because that appears to be the case. We'll get articles effect. What is an effect? Where are these? Get articles effect. This one right here. Okay, this is like handling the response, kind of. So what is the problem here? The error message is invoke JS from .NET. Oh, that's some JavaScript. What do you call it? Where you do like the interop. Could not retrieve. Uh-oh, got a typo here. That's okay. I am not going to throw stones at a glass house when it comes to typos. But it might be a good pull request. So, fail. Get article effects. Error during profile article search. Error during. So right here. This is the exception that it's hitting. Why is it hitting that exception? It seems like it's trying. Okay. So this is kind of doing what I did, combining both the feed and the get articles. It's kind of good to see some of the things that I made decisions on jive with other people's decisions. That's always nice. So it's one of the other things. So it's going to call the query string is going to be just the endpoint string, right? If it's null, articles is null. Throw exception. It doesn't do. Oh, it might do that, right? Could not retrieve, but that gets caught and then logged and kind of swallowed, I think. Interesting. So I'm wondering if this is my JavaScript debugging technique. That's not going to work. I'm not writing JavaScript. How do you do a console.log in Blazor? Is it console.writeline? I don't know. I have no idea. Over here. Doesn't seem to have done anything. Yeah, because your watch window will be writing everything. Oh. It would show up here. You're saying in the watch window. Okay. Doesn't seem to show up. So that's not where the problem is. I mean, I guess can I attach a debugger to this thing? Or, I mean, is it already running in debug mode? Let's see, I did .NET Watch, whatever, right? So if I go back to this and refresh, it doesn't look like it's attached. So let's shut this down. Let's see. .NET Watch, but with debug mode. How do I do that? .NET Watch debug? I don't know. I don't know this .NET command line that much. This is what I get for using Visual Studio too much. I want to run .NET watch run, but I want it to run in debug mode so I can set breakpoints. What do you say, ChatGPT? Or is TBD going to beat you to the punch? Visual Studio. I guess I go to Visual Studio. That's not what I'm trying to do. I wanted to run. There we go. Open your project. Run view. Click on Create a Launch JSON file. Select .NET Core. Launch JSON. You can add environments. Development. Start debugging by pressing F5. Okay. What about command line? Attach a debugger to the running process. Okay, how do I attach a debugger? How do I attach VS Code as a debugger? Yep, I get it. I get it. You can stop. Few steps. Preparing the .NET application. Can I just do like, is it like an attach? Here's in Visual Studio. Do I have a launch JSON file in this already? I don't see one. I don't know what you're going on about here, ChatGPT. Fourth one down. Wait, go to the little play icon to the left. This one right here. Oh, can I just do that instead of running this command line? You think that'll work? Run a debug? Sure. Okay, creates it for me. That's great. Is it going to actually run? Cannot create. Server is still initializing or has exited unexpectedly. I don't need that. No. Oh, okay. Okay, is it going? I don't see anything. See, now it's just trying to debug my JSON. Can I just do start debugging? What is this down here? Oh, what is all this? Okay. You'll know when it's going, it's not. Not sure how to guide this one, sorry. Yeah, I don't know either. Let's just try something here. Well, that looks like what ChatGPT was saying. Oh, it seems to be running now. Maybe. Where's my get article effect? Well, okay, maybe it's running. I'm not saying breakpoints aren't happening here. It's not going. It's not go. It says running, but it's not running. Stop. Okay, start debugging. Well, it's not those. Oh, here it is. Rosalind? Okay. Skip loading symbols, blah, blah, blah. Okay. problems. Don't care about that. Debugging console. Are you running yet? Nothing doing? Doesn't want to cooperate. Did I break something? Okay. So this wants to cooperate from the command line, doesn't want to cooperate from Visual Studio Code. Okay, well, back to my hacky way of debugging this, I guess. Just to see if any of this stuff shows up. So it's got to be in this try catch, because I know this happens right here. This is, of course, the console or console.log right here method of debugging. Okay, and hopefully something will show up somewhere. Doesn't seem to be showing up in that window. I don't see any here's. Oh wait, there they are. There's the here's. Here 1, here 2. Doesn't get to here 3. So this appears to be the issue right here. Right here. With the username. But there is, I'm not logged in yet. Article view list model. Constructed query string. Await token. Get token. So let's go back to what is get token async doing? I'm guessing that's getting the JWT token. You know, is there a way to go to that? That's what I'm saying. There are no creds. I'm not logged in yet. So I'm wondering if this just returns nothing. Where was this? It's part of token service, right? So there is some sort of service. Is it security token service? It's just token service. Okay. So here it is. And get token async. Here it is. So if authenticated, return it. Otherwise, it's just returning the string token and nothing else. That's interesting. Get item from the storage service, which I assume is probably local storage. Yeah, there's local storage. Oh, it's going to get it from local storage. There isn't one there. I wonder if that's the problem. If it's trying to pull something from local storage that isn't there. I don't know what storage service. Well, is it returning null? If there's nothing in, if this is not defined basically in local storage, is that going to return null? If so, that would be probably okay, as long as this expects null to be passed in. So then this get async, part of the API service, which is, where was that at? Conduit API service. I just had that one open. Conduit API service, there we go. So then it's going to get, this is a get token, could be null here, right? So attach default authentication header. So if it's null, then remove authorization header. Okay, that makes sense to me. And then here at the end, it's going to, again, create it with a null token. Again, might not be the end of the world. I don't know what would happen to JWT backend. Okay, then back here, it's going to get from JSON async, and it's going to hit that path. Okay. So let's look at this network. Let's see exactly what it's sending to that endpoint. Localhost, is this it? Articles, here we go. Okay, in the headers, I don't see any authentication in the headers, which that might be what I want, all right? Oh, okay, and that's working. That's getting articles back. Tags is also working. So those are working. What is the problem then? So it's nothing to do with my backend, I don't think. Unless something's formatted a different way that it expects. So I want to try another front end, but I'm worried that I'm going to run into the same problem because of my backend. Has the API evolved in the 3 years since this was written? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. You know, these are repos can be flagged by users saying this is out of date or this doesn't work anymore. That can happen. And this has not been flagged yet, which doesn't necessarily mean that it works, but it does mean that no one has come across it and says, hey, this is out of date. It looks like it's been abandoned, etc. Remove it from the list. This is pretty out of date, though. This is .NET Core 3, right? It's been 3 years. Might be worthwhile to flag it and say, hey, maybe update your repo, or otherwise pull it from real world. I don't know. But I'm just kind of curious to see, before I go and tackle another front end, like this could be an issue with my back end. It's a very much a possibility. It doesn't seem like it is, because those requests are going over the network, so the payloads make sense. I'm wondering if it's something like it's just not, like where's the, this is where it's failing, right here. Right? So what about article view model list? Maybe it's not matching up or something? Where are those view models? Actions, effects, reducers. Let's see, is it under models? Article view model list. See, this has got that same wrapper. Articles count. Articles count. I don't remember there being an articles count. What was it? List articles. Yeah, there's no articles count. I'm wondering if that was, if that's something it's trying to map. It's not finding it. What about article DTO? That all makes sense. So I'm wondering. Well, I just clash it. Ah, crud. Article view model list. I'm wondering what happens if I comment that out. Will it break anything? Yes, I will. What if I make it nullable? Also broke things. See, cannot convert int to int. Okay. So I don't just think that's the way. Hey, TBD Gamer, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for the help. And I hope you have a good meeting. And we'll see you around. Come back on Friday. I'll be streaming again on Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern U.S. time. Hopefully get a front end working by then. I anticipated this being an issue, getting a front end working. Just didn't know what the issue would be. So I wonder, where else is articles count used? See, it's used later here. But it's almost like get articles success action. Even if it's not, I don't return it, it would still map it as a default value, I assume, right? Yeah. See, there is no articles count returned by the endpoint. That doesn't mean that won't work if it's just something that's being populated by this UI for whatever reason. You might want to know how many articles there are to determine, maybe it wants to do a page number or next icons, things like that. I don't know. But this is where it's having the problem, right here. Let's see if it's the token that's causing the issue. Let's hold it right line. Let's just do that. Maybe that's what's causing there. Who knows? It's just null, right? I probably should have put a little string in front of it. Let's put some stars in here so it'll get noticed. So it's really this part right here that's struggling. Conduit. Yeah. So it's a null token, it's empty token, which is what is expected. I'm not logged in. So it's this part right here. It's this part. I'm not going to bother because I know it's going to cause a exception of just some type of exception, not a Conduit API exception, some other type of exception. So get async, attach default authentication, get from JSON. This seems very straightforward to me. I don't know what the problem is, other than this view model has that count on there. Let me just see if I can come at this at other places. Get articles effect. Get articles effect. This is articles count. I don't know, just put 50 in there. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, still failing. Error during profile article search. Still happening right here, so I don't think that's the issue. Let's try and match article, model, view list. Article, model, article, view, model list. Article, view, model list, yeah. And then it's in articles. Is it articles DTO? I wonder if, I don't, what could be the issue? What if I comment that out? Maybe it's an authentication thing. Okay, nope. So it's definitely this. Get from JSON async. Get from JSON async. That must be a built-in method of HTTP client. What if this does anything? Maybe show me something here. Await operator can only be used within an await. Oh, it's not async? Hey, what? Huh? There's no console in there. Okay, I'm a little confused now because this is async. This is an async method. There's no await here, but it's not marked async. None of these are. Is that a Blazor thing? Because that's how I would expect it to be written. Async on the method and await on this. Is it doing some other sort of crazy thing? Okay, I didn't seem to fix anything. Huh. Okay, well, I don't know. Just kind of struggling right now. It's because this is an issue where I don't know if it's something my backend's doing wrong or if it's something that this front end's doing wrong. It seems like it's most of the way there. So I might just chalk this up to, this is, hasn't been touched in 3 years. Maybe there's an issue. I think I'm going to probably shut down the stream for the day and pick this up later this week. Maybe I'll do some experimentation during the week. I know my boss is very eager to see a UI version of my project, so let's just get a nice raid going. I don't know if there's anybody even still around. Pretty light today, but who do we got? We got Tim Bodette. I've been to Finite Singularity in a while, I don't think. I'm ready to Finite Singularity. So if you're hanging around, lurking, we're going to raid Finite Singularity. Another member of the team, Live Coders. We'll go in there and say hi, and then I'll see you again on Friday. This Friday, which would be September 29th, 9 a.m. Eastern U.S. time. In the meantime, let's go enjoy Finite Singularity, and thank you very much for watching.